we really just zero in on, whether people will keep eating candy and whether we can charge a little more for it next year. We don't play big trends. We don't think about demographic trends or anything of the sort. We think about our own ages getting older, but other big trends, they just don't mean that much. There's too much money to be made from year to year to think about things that take decades to manifest themselves. So I can't recall of a decision we've ever made on a purchase of a business or a stock or a junk bond or a currency or anything else based on a macro.
Not only that, we've recently failed to profit much from one of the biggest commodity booms in history. Yeah. And we'll probably continue to fail in the same way.
But we'll search for new ways to fail. I mean, we're not trying to limit ourselves. It's probably true, incidentally, in a country like Canada, where you've got probably millions of barrels of oil, millions of barrels a day of oil production coming on, and where there's relatively few people, and where there's already a surplus running. They're running a significant current account surplus. That it's not strange that their currency should be strong relative to a country like ours, where we're running a huge current account deficit, and we don't have that same natural the gain in natural exports coming on that they do. But there's so many more important factors that are going to hit us immediately that's what we really think about day to day.
Could you please clarify what kind of exposure you or Berkshire currently have in silver? And further, could you please help us to understand how you determine the value of a non-interest bearing precious metal?
Do you have any silver on you, Charlie? we had a lot of silver at one time, but we don't have it now. The original decision, my decision, was that the production of silver and the reclamation of silver, I don't remember the numbers exactly now, but they were running perhaps 100 million ounces or thereabouts less than the consumption. And now a lot of consumption has gone down in photography, but that's where the reclamation was too, so that those tended more to balance each other out. I haven't looked at the figures for the last year or so, but silver was out of balance. Now, on the other hand, there were enormous quantities of silver above ground, and there were huge quantities of silver that could possibly be removed from other uses, perhaps in jewelry and all kinds of things that could conceivably add to supply, as they did in the early 1980s when the Hunt Brothers thing took place. But overall, silver was being produced and reclaimed at a lesser rate than it was being consumed, and added to that was the fact that there are relatively few pure silver mines. Silver is largely produced as a byproduct of copper and lead and zinc, and so that it was not easy to bring on added production. So all of that added up to the fact that I thought that silver would get tight at some point. And as I said, I was early in that conclusion, and I was early in selling. So we have no silver now, and we did not make much money on it. And you're right that it doesn't earn anything. So you sit with it. It's not like sitting with a stock where, in most cases, earnings are piling up for you. You have to hope that a commodity moves in price, because it is not producing anything as it sits there looking at you, and that's one of the drawbacks of commodities. Charlie?
We didn't get where we are by owning non-interest bearing commodities. I don't think it's a big issue around here.
We actually owned oil at one time too, didn't we? But we didn't make much money out of it. We made a little money.
No, you made quite a bit out of oil. Yeah. But, it's a good habit to trumpet your failures and be quiet about your successes.
Yeah. Well, we have more to trumpet than we have to be quiet about.
I wonder, it's been some time since you commented on Coca-Cola. And now that you're off the board, I wonder if you feel free to comment on it.
Yeah, well, I won't make particularly different comments than from when I was on the board, but Coca-Cola is a fabulous company. Coca-Cola will sell over 21 billion cases of various products, more Coke than anything else, around the world this year, and it goes up every year. It's interesting, the stock in 1997 or 98, whenever it was, sold over $80 a share when the earnings were, I don't remember what, $1.50 a share or something like that. And the earnings then were not as of good quality as the earnings are now when, they were $2.17 or something like that. And every year they account for a little greater share of the liquids consumed by people in the world. They make fabulous returns on invested capital. It's a business that has, exclude the bottling part of it, it has 5 or 6 billion of tangible assets and makes a similar amount. So there are not lots of big businesses in the world that earn 100% pre-tax on tangible assets, and it'll be a great business, and it's been a great business. The stock got to what, in retrospect, clearly was a ridiculous level, but you can't hold the present management, Neville Isidell, responsible for that. And he, if the company sells 4 or 5% more units this year than last year, and the population of the world goes up 2%, that just means that more people are putting that particular source of liquid down their throats than the year before, and that's been going on ever since 1886. So it strikes us as a really wonderful business that sold at a very silly price some years back, and you can definitely fault me for not selling the stock. I always thought it was a wonderful business, but clearly at 50 times earnings, it was a silly price on the stock. So we like it. We'll own it 10 years from now, in my view. Charlie?
No more.
Peanut brittle gets caught occasionally, but it's worth it. It's worth it, definitely.
Push it near me and
What? Oh, you want some, huh? Get your own box next time. Now, do you want us to go to 14 or not? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, number 14.
There's one thing I should probably clear up first because I know it's puzzling you. In the movie, he always gets the girl. Now, that's hard to figure out, isn't it? But I finally understand what's happening. It's something called the Anna Nicole Smith rule. It's when choosing between two old rich guys, pick the older one.